Dr. Morning, ladies. My name is Chaz, and welcome to the What If Zuko Was the Only Lantern from DC. So he was born, like, he has a power of all of the lanterns. He doesn't need a ring of each color. He was born with it. So, yeah, this is what he looks like. And like, that's his superhero costume. Because he's so powerful that his own, like, he tries to hide that power away from everyone. So, yeah. Now, and I'm also thrown in Zumi to make it more balanced, because the Zumi and Zuko, she loved her brother, no matter if he was. So, yeah. And I'm making her go down that canon version with a quirk. So, Zuko, now let's begin. Yeah. And, of course, before we start, the reason why this is here is because I was trying to get all the lanterns spirit things, the like rage, the greed, fear, hope, will, and like all that stuff. Yeah. Like all the spirit, like all the lanterns is spirit things. That are also infused with his body, so he can talk to them, but everyone else doesn't see them. So, yeah, and he can see them, but the other people can't. Yeah. So now we begin with Zuko being born. Yeah. So, or actually, in this alternate timeline, whoever's a lantern has to stay alive, because most of the lanterns, like the that had the same powers, they all instantly died. I mean, after 3 years. But Zuko wasn't, or he was born as a lantern, like the Green Lantern, Yellow Lantern, those people. Yeah. But Zuko is also immortal, so it counteracts this bad effect. Yeah. So, Zuko and Zumi were born. And then at the age of 4, they went to a quirk doctor. And he could see the, like, greed, a snake, wrapped around him. Man, yeah. So the quirk doctor tells tells Zumi that she has a quirk. Here it comes. And he tells Zuko he doesn't have a quirk. Hurt. As Zuko starts to tear up. He couldn't believe that he wanted to be with have a quirk. As Inko was crying, and Asashi and Inko took them home when they left him alone. They paid no attention to Zuko. No, but they paid attention to Zumi. But Zuko wasn't alone. Sorry if you were hearing that in the background. That's my dogs. Hung. So yeah, he wasn't alone. When he looked over, he saw yeah, this Red Bull. And as the Red Bull, not a drink, but the one that's on your screen, he tells him that they abandoned you. Oh, you want your revenge? Give me some time to think about it. Okay? As be afraid, be very afraid, that spirit of the fear one. And I tried to get all of them in one picture, but some reason it didn't go over. So let me show you what I mean. Like all of these guys. So yellow can sense the fear in Zuko, because technically they all are part of him. So yeah. And so he goes to a normal school. Everyone thinks that he's weird talking to himself. Like they said, dude, you need to not sit with us. And of course, Zumi gets the to go to UA. In the Class 1A team and all that stuff, there's a time skip. They were at the age of 15. So, now they are at, now we're at the part where All Might and All for One are battling each other's and Zuko sees this and his rage, his bull side, the one that you see, this one right here, got fueled by the tense anger, as he had two emotions going. Love, because he loves All Might, and hates All for One. So, yeah, as they all looked at each others and said, or actually Zuko nods his head, all of them did, as they all fused into one entity, or they used their separate powers. Ours. And the spirits things came out, and of course Rage goes in, slams into All for One, and bam, right through. And yeah, Zuko is, I got some reinforcements, so ready, guys? And Raging Bull, yep, or Rage. That's, they all, or Zuko calls him those names. Greed, you're up. And they see an orange snake, the one that I showed you. This guy right here, the orange snake, and says, "Alright," and he pole vaulted all the way to All for One, and he wraps around All for One's arms, and yeah, in order to activate their full power, of course Zuko says each order. He actually enchants their, you know how in the comic books or the anime or in cartoons, they always use their blockers knife, or no, how I'll just use lanterns or Green Lanterns is usually says the blackest night, bright as day, or no, bright as day, blackest night, no evil shall escape my sight. Worship evil's might, beware of my power. Green Lantern's light. Boom. Yeah. But he says that with all of the colors as his body splits into, well, all of them. Like each one represents, as they see different hair colors of Zuko's, as everyone couldn't believe it. Even as all the spirit things went back into his body, as he says, or as they all like, ready for some smackdown. And yeah, so they all did that. And as he created, or Red, or like Rage, created a giant hammer and slamming the All for One down. Green was holding him down as he says, "I'll take that," as he rips the helmet right off of All for One. And as All for One is gonna die. "Be very afraid," as the yellow-haired Zuko says. As a train that he made that was yellow because he had no powering, so they used their own gauntlets, their own hands, and his powers. Slams right into All for One. When he was down on the ground, slamming them, as the, yeah. So, yeah. All of them, as he basically murdered All for One out of sheer hatred for him, as he can't stop him, as All Might goes up, grabs him by a wrist, as he turns him around and hugs him, as All Might says, "You're okay, and as, yeah, Zuko literally was, as All for One was dead. Like, you could see, that one episode of My Hero Academia where All Might beats All for One to death with it? Yeah. But he ripped, or no, actually Zuko ripped All for One's entire body in like bazillion pieces. And you know what he did? He used this part right here. To make All for One and the spirit got killed, but the Lantern thing consumed the All for One's body. So, yeah. And he tells Greed in that you want his body for yourself. To be, as Greed says, to be like our henchman thing. That's good with me. Go ahead. As yeah. So yeah, all for one and carcass, like the dead corpse, risen back up as he walks over to Zuko, but instead of attacking him, he bowed before him. As his face was, how will I put this? I'm trying to find the picture of him. All for One's face looks like that. But instead of having like wide and red of his eyes, they were just black and with gold. Yeah. As he says, I serve you now, master. And everyone's like, what? As they're like trying to piece together. Because All for One's soul was wiped out from then plus his quirk. So, yeah. As he can't believe, or they couldn't not believe that this kid took the first killed him, revived him as his servant. Yeah. As Zuko turns around, tells All Might that actually he has his back turned, and he told All Might that he is a lantern. He was born as a lantern. And as All Might's eyes widen, because everyone couldn't believe that this kid is a lantern. Yeah. As those spirits, because they got reason why those people that were born way before him was as dead because they got consumed by their own hatred, their own rage. But Zuko embraced it. But the spirits of them, instead of killing him after 3 years, because after Zuko was born, then the timer started. So, yeah. So Zuko's supposed to die at age of 4. But Zuko knew, but these spirits knew that he was more valuable. So instead of consuming him, like, they just let him. That was a weird scam. I don't know what it is. So, yeah. Zuko ends up living way longer than yeah. So, yeah. As he didn't actually die. in this what if. So Zuko was still alive as he embraced it as principal, or actually the next day he goes to normal school. As everyone at the normal school says, "Hey Zuko, how's your spirit things?" Well, they're pretty good. Hey Rage, as the raging bull says, "What's up, Ming Man?" Well, they were asking, "How are you doing?" Pretty good. And so the after they visit, then the class started. But Zuko, or the Nezu, wants to talk to Zuko. And Zuko, who went up, and yeah, Zuko or Nezu had interest in Zuko because usually when they are just kids, it used to be after they were born, only 4 years, then they die. But somehow Zuko is still alive. Somehow. So Nezu asks Zuko, then did you want to be a pro hero? Yeah, I do. Oh. As it's hey? As Nezu says, well, you actually have a chance to go to UA. Because with that amazing power that you have, you were born with it, right? Yeah. I'm surprised that you're still living a long time. Because usually normal lanterns, cannot have this long of a life. So Zuko goes to UA. He goes to do the quirk test, and then he caught up on all of his work at the before, because it's a transfer one. And so he goes to Class 1A with his sister, as his sister's couldn't believe that as Bakugo was upset that this quirkless nerd was doing or had this power, but he threw it back of his mind. As Zuko or Bakugo then realized, oh wait, he's the only lantern that was left. So then, so they all ask him about different personalities or different, what can he do? Well, think about it as Momo's creation. I can create stuff from out of thin air, like constructs. and usually there's about 9 in total. Turtles. Sorry. Sorry. The 9 in total of different colors. The red represents rage. Orange represents greed. Yellow represents fear. Light, life. Blue, home. I can't read the what's purple is supposed to be. Matura or whatever. And then pink's pink's is love. Black is death, and green is it represents like your different emotions. But it has a heavy cost to pay. Is shortening life thing. Because there's no other lanterns except for me that made it this far. Yeah. So wait, what do you mean? By pink means love. As let's say it was as the Mina that says that. Well, all that stuff. So pink thing, like, because each one has a different power. So, yeah. And he compliments that all of them should be part of that colors. And then they see All For One just walks in with like drink soda thing and gives it to Zuko. And here you go, master. As Ochako keep in class 1A and 1B keep forgetting. And plus Nezu didn't forget. He knew that Zuko had a butler thing. Sorry, I just had to laugh at that. So, yeah. Zuko says thank you and okay. So, yeah. I'm trying to hold it in, but that's just too funny. I need to letting. It's just too funny with like thing. So Jiro, everyone, or Mr. Ozawa says, or actually Mr. Ozawa tells Zuko that, man, is he under like your mind control or something like that? Well, no, it's actually the opposite. Because I'm actually controlling him. Full control. Because the orange, like whoever is a user of the int, they have a weird saying. So it and it consumes the person that I forgot how to pronounce it. So yeah, and yeah, so they all meet the spirits, like of different emotions. As Mina couldn't believe that she sees like the love monster, the one that I'm just trying to think. How do I put this? Where is it? It's the one with the that one. No, this one right here. And they all like seeing different creatures. They're like, man, this you're crazy. Yeah. Crazy. So, yeah. And one, he was trying to explain like, what Zuko or the All for One is to him is basically like all these guys. Is, but yeah. So yeah. So the ones that like you see before you, like all of those hose became like Zuko's. Yeah, that's what All for One is to Zuko. And yeah, they could not believe that this kid's so overpowered. No wonder why everyone that was born with it dies after 4 years. As he says, what the heck does that mean? I'm also immortal, so dying's not in my vocabulary because of the yeah. As he doesn't like because he knows that, or actually, the death doesn't want him to die, so they just keep him alive. Yeah, so he's the core of everything. So, yeah. And you know who else was interested in Zuko? Is Todoroki's family. Plus, like, Endeavor. Because they actually never seen a Zuko, or never seen a lantern with that much power in the first place. So they wanted to ask him for themselves. Of course, Inko, everyone is talking about Zuko, how he became this most overpowered. as Inko wants to ask him for herself. So she did, and she didn't realize that he wasn't just talking to himself. He was actually talking to spirits that he, as when he showed the spirits, Inko, and Asashi were in shocked, like in, they could not believe that Zuko was the lantern the whole time. He was born this way. As, yeah, all of them were like, yeah, as Endeavor was like doing like his angry pose thing. Of course, only two spirits that knew that he had was guilt, means fear, and he has rage. So yeah, Zuko says, better not do that, Endeavor. The rage has could sense a person's anger. All these guys have, like, they could sense inside of a person, like emotion. As Inko, or not, Todoroki, his mother says, that's true, right? You know how much fear that we're going through, right? Yes. As he looks over at the... Where is that? Where is he? Where is he? This guy. Hey, this guy right here says, yes, we can sense your fears. I can sense your fear inside your body. But it tastes kind of delicious, by the way. Not gonna lie. As Zuko tells him, alright, knock it off. Oh. The only... Yeah, so Todoroki is his sister, or all of them respect Zuko as a person. So is Zuko and... Or no, Inko and Asashi. Plus Endeavor says, I actually, since after I heard that you were the beat up all for one, I want to see if rumors are true that you took his body, like his soul out of his body, and you made his body your own servant. Yeah. As All for One pops out of nowhere with a plate of food, yeah, and gives it to to Zuko to sit down and eat. Yeah, they were like, man, and you're powerful, yeah, and all that stuff. So, yeah. So Zuko, who became a pro hero. because every villain that was around the world heard about the what's going down. They were all talking about Zuko, or the Lantern of Every Emotion. That's what his hero name is. As it got stuck with it. Yeah, everybody calls him the Motion Lantern. The Motion Lantern. Yeah. He has emotions with all of the, like, basically all of the spirit things. And yeah. So I'm not holding back. I'm going full throttle. Like the one that was before. I'm trying to think. Not there. The one that was in the what if Zuko was the evil lord of the monsters. I wasn't holding back. I was going full throttle. I need to tone it down, so that's why. So Zuko, once, or actually so all the girls from Class A and Class B, like, met up before, and they all asked them, except for Zumi, they all asked themselves that, would you date him? Would you? Would you? And yeah. Because no one wants to bear his, like, kids because the spirits things. And Zuko can, like that thing, can sense it. So they did. And finally, someone willingly accepted it. Not just one person, by 3 people. Let's just say Todoroki, not Toga. Todoroki's sister, or this girl right here, is one of them. Because she really likes him when he's like calm and rage, whole thing. So that, and then the Momo Irozu is the next person. And the third and final person, or actually there's 4 people, but the 3 is, the second person is Momo. The third and final one is Renko. And the fourth and final one is, of course, her. Yeah. All 4 of them asked him out on a date. And so they were dating, and then they got married and had, I'm just trying to remember the number. I just literally wrote this yesterday and forgot. It was down somewhere. But 4,000, no, not 4,000. 400 kids, or actually, no. 24 kids. Yeah. Because 6 kids for each of those wives. Yeah. And then those kids have the same immunity to, like, because they're also lanterns. Interns. Like how their father is, but with their quirks as their mothers. Yeah. So all the kids and the father can see the spirits. Yeah. Every time I picture, or every time I'm like doing these, I think about how they like do. I don't know how they do it, but yeah. I was gonna say 4,000 kids, and but that would have been like, those kids would probably be, or overpopulating the entire house thing. Yeah. So that's why all of them are now. This What If series is done. And I'm skipping over the overhaul because it's too boring and it. But Aries is so cute. And she did, like, because how cute he is. I don't want to ship her with Zuko. It's like, how will I put this? Shipping a old man, or actually a kid with a old man. The kid would be like same age as Aries. 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 And dating and getting married to a old man that's about the same size as, like, say, Asashi. Yeah. So, yeah. Zuko ended up winning the entire fight thing. So that's why I'm just pointing that out there real quick. Okay? So, and he lived a really long time. Like, because of death, doesn't want him to die, so he keeps him a lot, like, young. And it was finally time for everyone else, like All Might, Endeavor, and everyone else dies out. So, peace out, y'all.